All seems lost as Jon lays bleeding in the snow, surrounded by traitors and cold. As the cold grew stronger, the traitors realize something is off. It's too cold. The others attack in force. Ghost, being bored by Jon, defends his body while Melisandre performs a last-minute ritual to revive him. She kills Shireen as sacrifice and breathes fire into Jon's mouth, and he rises up, but not before avenging Shireen by plunging Longclaw into Melisandre's heart. Longclaw bursts into flame, revealing Jon Snow as Azor Ahai Reborn. Meanwhile, Stannis' forces smash the Boltons at Winterfell. Just as Stannis revels in his victory, Wyman Manderly buries a secret hatchet in his back, and the Northerners defeat the rest of Stannis' host. With the Boltons defeated and on the run, it is time to implement the Grand Northern Conspiracy. The Northmen head to the Wall, where they find Azor Ahai leading a repentant Night's Watch against the others. Not yet, Jon, they say. There's still plots to be twisted. They convince Jon to abandon the Night's Watch and head south with them, letting the Wall hold the others back for now. Daenerys returns with her Dothraki hordes and burns Meereen to the ground atop Drogon. Tyrion hops on a Rhaegal and becomes the first dwarf dragon rider. Victarion, Jorah, Barristan, Tyrion, Penny, and Daario bow down to their queen, standing on the shore between the salty sea and the smoking city, and Makora reveals her as Azor Ahai Reborn. On the way to Westeros, Tyrion becomes suspicious of Daario, thinking he's seen him elsewhere before. As they pass the smoking sea, Tyrion realizes that he has met this man once before, while taking a piss off the edge of the world. I know this man, he tells Dany. This is Benjen Stark of the Night's Watch. Benjen reveals that he came to Dany knowing she was Azor Ahai, and wanted to bring her to the Wall to fight the others. Dany declares that she must take her kingdom back first. Victarion and Dany both decide it is important to sail the smoking sea. Dany for knowledge of her ancestors, and Victarion because fuck yeah, Victarion. They stop at one of the ruins to explore. They find Brightwar, which Dany gives to Jorah, much to Tyrion's dismay. Tyrion argues that he deserves a Lannister sword, but Dany quiets him by telling him he is not a Lannister. Dany reveals that his face is like her father's face, and his dark eye and pale hair give him away as a secret Targaryen. Before they leave the smoking sea, Victarion proposes marriage to Dany. She agrees, deciding that she needs his army, and fuck yeah, Victarion. However, in the night, Benjen Daario murders Victarion, throwing him overboard, but not before revealing that he's being warned by Euron. Meanwhile, in King's Landing, Cersei watches Sir Robert Strong step forth to defend her in her trial by combat. She looks to see what weakling dare challenge this giant, and sees a similarly large man step forward, a hood over his head and a limp in his step. The man walks into the center of the pit, draws his sword, and whispers, "Fucking confirmed. Get hype." Robert Strong attacks, throwing the gravedigger back, but his younger brother comes in at a low angle and knocks him over. Robert Strong's helmet rolls away, revealing a sick conglomeration of King Robert's head, Rob's head, Joffrey's head, the Mountain's head, and nothing at all. The High Septon denounces this as treachery and sorcery and demands Cersei be executed on the spot. At that moment, however, a man steps forth from the audience. "I know you," he says. "You were at the tourney of Harrenhal many years before. You were beaten by squires and defended by the Knight of the Laughing Tree. Who is really Lyanna?" The High Septon scoffs. "You don't know me," he says. "Yes, I do," the man replies. "You're Howland Reed." The crowd goes into an uproar, though they don't know who this is, and Reed runs out of the courtroom shouting mystically, "R plus L equals J." Azor Ahai's army marches south, passing by a disguised Bolton family. Roose first kills Walder for food. It's cold and there aren't many animals around. And in the night, Ramsay decides to do the same to him. Ramsay stabs Roose but finds that the dagger shatters instead of killing. Roose laughs and peels off his skin, revealing himself as a half-human, half-other combination. He skins Ramsay alive before going north to meet the others, who have breached the wall. Roose tells them all of the happenings south of the wall. The Night's King looks at him and says, "The fuck's wrong with you, man?" and kills him on the spot. Dany and her army attack Westeros starting from dawn, but find that the Martells will not join her. They've already chosen Aegon Targaryen. Just as Arianne and Aegon marry, however, Aegon pulls out Blackfire and says, "Psych, I'm not a Targaryen at all." A dance of dragon breaks out, which ends promptly with Aegon getting incinerated by all Dany on Drogon, Tyrion on Rhaegal, and Bran warging Viserion. Euron/Benjen/Daario tries to warg Viserion as well, encountering Bran in Bloodraven. They form an eternal hive mind together and make a movie about it titled Being Brendan Rivers. Lady Stoneheart orders Brienne to kill Jaime. Brienne and Jaime fight, but Brienne decides that she cannot stand to kill Jaime and swings her sword at Lady Stoneheart instead. Her sword pierces Stoneheart, and bursts into flames, revealing Brienne as Azor Ahai reborn. Jaime, however, cannot stop the swing of his sword, which plunges into Brienne's heart before bursting into flames and revealing Jaime Lannister as Azor Ahai reborn. Azor Ahai's army reaches the twins and demands passage, which Walder Frey refuses. Suddenly, Nymeria, being warned by Arya and her pack, invade the twins and murder all the Freys, letting the Northerners through. Dany marches on King's Landing, which Cersei has somehow taken control of again. Jaime arrives at the same time as does Azor Ahai's army of warriors. Ahai hears about Howland Reed shouting R plus L equals J and realizes he forgot to check the crypts in Winterfell. PRP, he says, running north, looking in the crypts and finding Rhaegar's harp as well as a wedding photo album. Ahai runs back and proclaims, "I'm a secret Targaryen!" Tyrion runs to his nephew, embracing him, saying, "I'm a secret Targ too." Jaime sees this and starts fitting together the pieces. The incest, the madness. "Cersei and I are also secret Targs," he shouts. Dany can take no more of this. "Too many Targs," she screams. "Kill them all!" Jorah and Barristan both realize that she has gone mad. They each step forward to kill her and start fighting over who should do it. "I become Azor Ahai," Jorah says, while Barristan proclaims, "I need the dramatic irony." Jorah slays Barristan and then Dany with bright roar, which bursts into flame, revealing him as Azor Ahai. "Wait," Ahai says. "Azor, I have the Mormont sword. Jaime, you have the Stark sword. Azor has the Lannister sword. Before we start fighting, want to trade?" They awkwardly exchange swords. "Now," Jon says, "my terms are simple. We gotta fight the others." "My terms are simple," shouts Cersei from King's Landing. "Go fuck yourselves." Azor and Jaime look around awkwardly because they have no direction in life. "Wait, what about us?" ask Sansa and Arya and Rickon and Davos. The others marching on to King's Landing, surrounding everyone. The Night's King walks forth as an emissary. "You know, we're not that bad," he says. "I mean, yeah, we're killing people, but everyone does that these days. We actually have reasons. Fuck, you guys have been burning the Riverlands for no fucking reason at all. You torture people constantly. We sent Roose down to watch y'all and somehow turned into a psychopath. What the hell is your problem?" The humans look at each other awkwardly without any good answer. The Night's King shakes his head. "I was just gonna tell y'all to put a fucking Stark back in Winterfell again, but somehow I doubt you can even do that correctly. Night's King out." Cersei watches the others march away, heading back north. She yells out the window, "But what about the Valakar?" Tyrion, Jaime, Sandor, Clegane, and all the second sons look at each other, shrug, and all run up to the Red Keep to kill Cersei. Cersei gives a nod to Qyburn, who ignites the wildfire reserves and kills everyone. And forgot the most important part, where Varys, Illyrio, and Sir Mandon Moore rise from the ocean with their Merling armies. Oh well.